Joined now by second-year offensive line coach Derek Warehime with the University of Houston. And we did this last year. You weren't around yet. You came in a little bit later, but this year you're here full bang, ready to go with these recruits. What's the process been like trying to bring in some offensive linemen to U of H?
It's been really fun, to be honest with you. And we're in a really unique situation here because we recruit so much locally, and these kids can get here to this campus so much. So more unique than any other place that I've been, just to be able to build a relationship with not just the player and the guy that you're recruiting, but the family as well. So it feels like, we talked about, it feels like with all of these guys, you know, you've been able to almost be with them like through their freshman year. So it's really a unique deal.
You know, a lot of credit goes to you for the work you've done with the offensive line this season. I know you didn't want it this way, where you had to piece it together every single week with all the injuries, you know, moving players around with that offensive line. How did you do it?
Well, I mean, obviously the credit goes to those guys, being able to absorb information, be coachable. And, you know, as the thing kind of started unraveling midway through the season with injuries and guys getting sick and just stuff happening, and it was just man down, man up, and we were on a roll and kind of continued to discuss in our meeting room, you know, we're not going to be the ones that, you know, let this football team down. We're going to outwork everybody and continue to do our job so we can continue to be successful. And like I said, credit to those guys. I've never been associated with anything like that before, with multiple injuries like that, season-ending injuries and stuff like that in one position group. But those young guys stepped in and did an unbelievable job.
You know, you have to do it every year as a head coach. You had to do it last season, of course, by necessity. You'll do it every year with a new recruiting class, developing young players. What are some of the most important things that you tell yourself when you're developing these young offensive linemen? You
got to give them a plan. You know, each of them are stronger in some areas than others, and you got to lay out a plan for them individually, so they know what they need to focus on. And we have an unbelievable support staff here with Coach McKnight down in the weight room, Allison, our nutritionist, to where you can really, you know, there's weight gain guys, there's weight loss guys. All of them need to become more flexible. You can never be strong enough, you know, and continue to hammer away at footwork and hit as much football as you can throughout the entire process. And with young guys, it's just continuing to help them understand how to apply, you know, what they're doing in the weight room or what we're doing in the off season or what we're doing to drill work, how that's going to carry over onto the field. And it's no different when it comes to their schoolwork. You know, some of them are better in certain subjects than others. So just giving them the resources necessary to be successful.
When you see a young offensive lineman in high school and you're recruiting them to University of Houston, wherever you might be, what are some of the things that you want to see out of a high school offensive lineman?
So, I mean, the first thing you start with is just the measurables. I mean, there's a certain size and body that you have to have at this level to be able to put those guys in a situation matchup-wise with who they're going to be playing against to give them a chance to be successful. But it's seeing them work, you know, getting the information from the high school coach or their position coach on the type of kid he is. You know, what is his character? What is he like on and off the field? Does he have any leadership ability? Because you can sit there and watch the film. It doesn't take very long to find out if a guy can play or not. That's not the hard thing to uncover. But you need to uncover, you know, the academic piece. Is he a sharp guy? You can't be a dumb guy and play in the offensive line. So you got to be sharp. Can he speak? Is he a grown-up? Does he look you in the eye whenever he talks? How does he work in the weight room? Let me see him bend. Let me see his practice habits. And then from there you develop the relationship and see how that goes, you know, because you're evaluating them and you're recruiting them to your place, but at the same time, in the back of your mind throughout the entire process, it's how are they going to fit with the rest of the guys that I have in that room? And if it's an oddball or a personality that may not work or may not fit, you may, you know, pump the brakes a little bit, but if you feel good about a guy and you get to know the family and you feel like it's going to be a good fit, then you go ahead and pull the trigger and recruit the heck out of him.
Let's take a look at some of the offensive linemen you have coming in in this class. We'll start with Braylon Jones out of John Tyler High in Tyler, Texas, 6'3", 280, three-star recruit by rivals, pretty much everybody. Number 54 defensive tackle by Scout, number 10 defensive tackle in the state of Texas by Scout. What do you see in him that you like on the offensive line?
Braylon, first and foremost, is a great kid. Comes from a great home. Coached by Rickland Holmes over there at John Tyler High School. This guy we recruited initially that was just a defensive lineman, and Braylon always wanted to play offensive line but wasn't able to because they needed him on the defensive line. And this year, due to some youth and some injury that they had, similar to what we had go on. They moved him to the offensive line. So Braylon, he started both ways for those guys at John Tyler High School, at the defensive line and at the offensive line. Played all the positions up front, played center, played tackle, played guard, and really excelled. I mean, to have that type of endurance. They play high-level football at that place too now. I'm really excited about him. I mean, he's 4.0 student. He's valedictorian of his class. He's got a chance to do some unbelievable things here. He really does.
Moving along as we take a look at one of the other offensive linemen that are coming into this class, a local kid out in Crosby. Good crawfish, good football.
Yeah.
There with Keenan Murphy coming in, 6'2", 295-pound lineman. Got coached very well, played for a very good team in Class 5A this season.
Yeah, Keenan's another great kid that got two great parents. His mom and his dad are unbelievable people. Played for Coach Reardon out there at Crosby High School. Has played both right and left tackle in high school. Wound up moving him inside. But big, bright, big, broad-shouldered, barrel-chested guy. Plays unbelievably hard and is a very, very athletic guy. So he'll have the ability to play both center and guard for us as he comes in and develops. But I'm really excited about Keenan.
One of the JUCO transfers, he's here from Iowa Western Community College, grew up in Maryland. Atty Rogers, big boy, 6'5", 290, four-star recruit across the board, ranked the number 7 overall JUCO player by ESPN. When you look at Rogers, some things that jump out to you.
You know, his length, whenever he walks in the room, he's a big, long, well put together guy, big, bright-eyed, big, bright smile. Again, comes from a good family. Played for Coach Strohmeyer up there at Iowa Western, extremely successful junior college program. And, you know, he's an unbelievably athletic guy. You know, he's very talented, and he's going to fit in really well with us. And I've seen a lot of great things with him so far, just being on campus and working in the weight room and seeing him run. And he's meshed well with the rest of the guys in the unit, which I said before is a really important deal with what we're doing here. And he's off to a good start in the classroom. So that guy, the sky's the limit for Natai, you know, here over the next couple of years with being a big-time player for us.
The last one we'll take a look at, Dixie Wooten, 6'5", 320 pounds from Lamar and HISD. Big boy, great name.
Yeah, no doubt. Like I said before, he is a third, so there's a few of those guys running around. Great mom, great dad, great stepdad. You know, played for Coach Nolan over there at Lamar High School. And Dixie moved around a little bit and was coached by Coach Green over there as his offensive line coach, a U of H guy, and has done a great job with Dixie. Unbelievable personality, big giant guy whenever he walks in the room. But he is a hard-playing, athletic, big man that will move inside for us, be a guard for us, and should have an unbelievable career for us. He was an early commit, you know, one of the first guys that jumped on board, and has been a big player in us and helping us to continue to recruit in this 2016 signing class, getting guys on board with us from within that group. And I'm excited about Dixie. Can't wait to get him here. I've seen him, seems like 15 million times, and we've built a great relationship through this process, so I'm excited about him.
Well, Coach, it looks like a good class on paper, and I'm sure you're excited to add some depth to that offensive line and hopefully not have to move some defensive players over to the offensive line in the years moving forward.
Hopefully we're through with a lot of that stuff and we can develop these guys and move on.